Hi, as per usual, in version 3.2, there will be two phases of new banners. This time, they will feature the brand new character Castorice with a rerun of Fugue, Acheron, and Jiaoqiu in the first phase. And in the second phase, we'll begin the brand new character Anaxa with a rerun of Dr. Ratio. This video will go through all the units coming in this patch and an analysis of each character's pool value. Before we start, I'll be giving away 2 supply passes / welcome to my subscribers at 7k subs, so make sure you subscribe. Again, as this is a pre-release video, everything is subject to change, and despite what I say in this video, pull for your waifus and husbandos over meta. So with that out of the way, let's begin with the brand new unit of the first phase, Castorice. If you don't know what she does, I have a guide link in the description. But in general, Castorice is a quantum remembrance DPS that uses HP manipulation to deal massive AoE damage from herself and her summon memo sprite. She is an extremely potent DPS that is one of, if not the best AoE DPS, especially if you have her best teammates and in the right content. So people who have Tribi or Sunday or fully built RMC, Castorice would be a great option with those units, resulting in some of the strongest teams in the game. Otherwise, people who are just looking for a new AoE DPS, whether it's because you want to upgrade or simply want another option for different types of content, Castorice would be ideal for your account as well. Since Castorice's ideal teammates are still coming in the future, getting her for a bit of future proofing might be a good idea as well. However, if you're not planning to get her signature Lycorn or get the Battle Pass Lycorn, Castorice may not be the best idea right now, since outside of these two options, there really isn't anything else. And those that have no problem clearing AoE contents may not see that much value in Castorice, and especially if you don't have her ideal teammates, pulling her on her rerun may be more beneficial for you. Moving on to the first rerun of Phase 1, Fugue. Fugue is a fire nihility support that focuses on her niche of being a super break buffer / enabler and is an irreplaceable unit for such teams. This is her first rerun and her exo toughness is still one of a kind. Together with her other debuffs / buffs, she continues to be a key component in super break teams. So people who are looking to upgrade their HMC and or looking to complete the super break teams, Fugue will be the answer you're looking for. Speaking of HMC, Fugue will also free up your HMC, which can become RMC, who is one of the strongest supports for all of the new DPSs, which is super nice. Otherwise, outside of her niche, she will not perform as well as the more general supports in the game, so if you're not looking to run super breaks, Fugue may not be for you. For the second rerun of the first phase, Acheron. Acheron makes her second return and continues to be a top DPS choice in the game. Acheron is a lightning nihility DPS that gets ultimate points from debuffs rather than energy, which if utilized correctly leads to some really fast and really strong AoE ultimates that can carry you through all types of content. So people who already have copies of Acheron, investing into E2 and or her signature Lycorn will be a great option, as even to this day, E2 S1 Acheron will still match or even outperform a lot of the current day DPSs. Other than that, people who are looking for DPS that's able to be played in a lot of content, Acheron is also a prime choice. Mainly looking at MOC, PF, and AP, she has been a staple in all 3 contents for a while now, and is likely to continue due to the nature of her kit. So while you may not be getting the fastest clear with Acheron, her flexibility is almost unmatched. But putting that aside though, she is quite dated, and if you're not planning to vertically invest into her, her value may drop as she may slowly wither herself out of the meta. And with so many good DPSs coming out recently, and in the future as well, getting your first copy of Acheron may not be the most efficient idea at this point of time. And for the last rerun of Phase 1, Jiaoqiu. Jiaoqiu is a fire nihility sub DPS that focuses on buffing ultimate damage and applying really quick DOTs, making him one of the best options to use in both DOT teams and Acheron teams, where he especially shines as being the number 1 option. Which, speaking of, makes him the perfect unit to be run alongside Acheron. So if you're ever planning to build an Acheron team from scratch, this patch is the ideal patch to start from. But being a unit that has only top choices in 2 types of teams means that if you aren't planning to play Acheron or DOT, Jiaoqiu is really not that great of an option. and simply put, he is not as flexible or generalistic as other units in a similar role, so unless you have a specific purpose for him, he is not all that worth it. Now moving on to the second phase, starting with the new character Anaxa. Anaxa is a wind erudition DPS that plays around with different elemental type weaknesses and provides both insane utility and damage. His ability to be more supportive in both kit and playstyle allows him to be the perfect teammate to someone like the Herta, while not sacrificing any power of being a hyper carry and becoming one of the top AoE DPS options. So people who are looking for an AoE DPS, especially a flexible one, being able to be played in multiple content, Anaxa is a great option, especially due to how his skill works. Unlike other erudition units who suffers heavy losses when not actually going against 5 targets, he is actually quite strong against low amounts of targets, making him one of the most flexible DPSs. Otherwise, people looking for a teammate for the Herta, Anaxa will be ideal for that role. However, as per usual for a DPS, if you can clear all the content already, getting Anaxa will not be that beneficial. And if you're not planning to use the Herta teams and or already happy with your current Herta team's performance, getting Anaxa will not be meaningful enough for you, as sometimes it's a side grade, and for other times, even if it's an upgrade, it's not big enough to warrant a whole limited 5-star. And last but not least, Dr. Ratio for the rerun of the second phase. Dr. Ratio is an imaginary hunt DPS that focuses on really frequent attacks by having great synergy with other follow-up attack units and using some follow-up attacks himself. For a free unit, he is quite strong in single target, but unfortunately, he was only free for a limited time, and as a limited unit, he does fall a bit short. So people who want to use a FUA team but like Fei Xiao, Dr. Ratio can be a decent alternative. But realistically, other than that, he wasn't ahead of his time like Acheron, who even to this day is still very strong, so him being quite dated and FUA not getting any signs of future supports means that other than liking him, Dr. Ratio is not a great pool for many people's account even if you plan to vertically invest. So yeah, I mean, like I said before, if you just like a character, then just go for it. You will definitely have more fun using a unit that you like over using a meta unit. But speaking on the banners themselves, these are pretty stacked banners. However, unfortunately, the reruns this time does seem pretty distinct from the new units, as Fugue, Acheron, Jiaoqiu doesn't really help Castorice, and Dr. Ratio definitely does not help Anaxa. But it's not like they can already start rerunning Sunday and Tribi, so I guess it kinda makes sense.